The list goes around the world.
Let's travel.
Let's see.
From food.
I think I might need to move to Mexico City. Delicioso.
And drinks.
It's almost considered the national soda of the Bahamas.
To a pharaoh's tomb.
They got to the third coffin. It was solid gold. Solid gold. Unbelievable.
And even your pets.
Cats evolved in different parts of the world.
So get ready to go around the world because it's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes. And KG, the greatest thing about modern technology is that it's made it so easy to access information about how much great stuff is happening on this planet of ours.
So today our show is taking you around the world to experience all this great stuff, starting with something just about everyone loves, tacos.
Just about. I think that's everyone. There's so many different types, and honestly, I don't think there's one that I've tried that I didn't like.
Probably not. So we are taking our taste buds on a taco tour. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
Tacos are my comfort food, and some of my favorite family memories are making them with my mom.
I will tell you, growing up, I never ate tacos quite like this. This is the fancy taco section.
This food is from Mexico City, South Mexico.
Leading us through this taco tour is Chef Jose Rodriguez from Agave del Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. First up is the Yucatan on the southeastern tip of Mexico. It's the birthplace of tacos de cochinita pibil, which is a traditional Mexican slow-cooked pork dish. Chef Jose has added jalapeno and cilantro to the masa, giving these tortillas a little kick.
Okay, so we've got our jalapeno tortilla. I like to load my tacos up with the meat. So we got some pickled onions, and then a little bit of the habanero.
The habanero, yes. A little bit lemon juice. That's it, perfect.
This meat has been roasted for 6 hours, so it's very tender.
Oh, it's so juicy. That is fantastic.
Our next stop is Michoacan on the Pacific coast of Mexico. That azul ocean is reflected in the blue corn tortillas used in this dish, tacos de carnitas. This pork taco contains onion, cilantro, and a mild green sauce with a pinch of salt.
What do you think?
Everything is so tender. The flavors all come together. I'm gonna need like 6 more of these.
Now let's head north up the coast to Mazatlan, where shrimp boats line the ocean side. Tacos de Gobernador, named for a former governor who absolutely loved this dish.
When I think of Mazatlan, I think spring break.
Yes.
With these tacos, Chef Jose has laid out toasted tortillas layered with melted cheese.
Okay, so we have some of our shrimp. We'll just put that there.
Yeah.
So then we fold it. Oh man, cheese, shrimp, tortilla.
And now you added a little bit sauce.
What kind of sauce do we have
That's
here?
the chili oil.
Okay. And then a little bit of lemon.
Always. It's good, right?
This cheesy taco is the best thing I've ever eaten.
And finally, we're going to Chef Jose's hometown, Mexico City. A place so rich in history, and centuries ago, this dish was made with lamb cooked on a vertical spit. So tacos al pastor translates to shepherd style. Today, these tacos are made with pork and topped off with fresh pineapple. Also cilantro, onion, salsa, and a squeeze of lime.
I think I might need to move to Mexico City.
We should be.
Delicioso.
Tracking the delicious history of tacos is at the top of the list.
As tough as the pandemic has been, a lot of people realized they liked the part about slowing down their lifestyle. If you were one of them, Hattie D. Jamal says you may want to learn more about a Swedish philosophy that's all about moderation and balance. We're stopping to smell the roses with lagom.
Not too much, not too little. That's the way of the Swedish lagom lifestyle that's all about savoring a simpler way of living.
Whether it's our home designs, the things that we use for beautification, and even how we interact with the world around us.
Interior designer and transformational guide Rebecca Hitana has 4 ways we can incorporate lagom into our lives. First up, home design.
Think of really decluttered spaces, not minimalist, but mindfully curated.
Bring natural elements into your home like wood textures and plants. Incorporating candles and natural light into your space will refresh your home as well as help you save on electricity.
You can do sheer curtains or very light colored curtains to allow the light in.
Next up, Fashion.
Think of a minimalist wardrobe collection. That means having strategic pieces that can be versatile and that can move with you throughout the seasons and that can be mixed and matched in many ways.
Quality staple pieces like a good blazer, a go-to pair of boots, or that little black dress.
You're gonna actually have pieces that will last, which keeps more money in your pockets.
Another way you can embrace the lagom philosophy: clean, simple beauty products.
It's all about looking for products that are naturally made. Think algae, roots, plants.
Unlike some other popular skincare routines, which have multiple steps in products, lagom says less is more.
Just think about how those select beauty products can be used in various ways. So maybe that bronzer that you use on your cheeks can also be used as a contour, or maybe something you use on your lips can be used on your eyes.
We're learning how to achieve balance with the lagom lifestyle.
Well, another way to quench your thirst for things from around the world, try a soda from some far-flung place. Yeah, from the Bahamas to South Korea. Teresa Strasser's tasting her way around the planet, one sweet sip at a time.
Why not get a taste of culture and adventure through international soda pops? We've rounded up a bucket of overseas sodas to tide us over. We'll start with the Bahamas and their famous Goombay Punch.
I love Goombay Punch because it's Bahamian.
Brewed in the Bahamas by the Caribbean Bottling Company, the pineapple-flavored soft drink is named in honor of the goat skin Bahamian drum and Goombay music. While it's tough to find in the U.S., a quick Google search and about $28 is all you need to take your taste buds to the Bahamas. Our next stop is Scotland, home to bagpipes, castles, knits, and perhaps the world's quirkiest soda, Iron Brew.
Hiya!
Founded in 1901, Iron Brew is best known for its bubblegum meets pineapple flavor and irreverent commercials.
Singer, you come here often? Why? We man's love the cash.
Available online. Our soda pop tour continues in Korea with a unique milk-based concoction called Milkies.
Refreshing beat or light beat?
Launched with a lot of hoopla in 1989, their first spokesman was Hong Kong action movie star Chow Yun-fat. It comes in a variety of fruit flavors. You can find 6-packs online stateside starting at about $10 a pack. We'll wrap our tasty tour of international sodas with a nod to Jarritos, the fruity, festive Mexican soda. Founded in 1950, Jarritos uses cane sugar instead of corn syrup and pairs perfectly with everything from tacos to barbecue.
Jarritos, qué buenos son.
You can find Jarritos at most grocery stores stateside for $1 a bottle or less. Savoring the flavors of the world.
Jarritos, qué buenos son.
With Sodas International.
Still to come as the list goes around the world.
Tut's tomb was the only tomb which had not been discovered and robbed in the 3,000 years since the pharaohs.
Immerse yourself in the wonders of ancient Egypt.
He has a broken limb in his skeleton in a fight with an ostrich.
Plus, the international origin stories of domestic cats.
They have that spotted coat that makes them look like little tiny leopards.
And a clever way to learn a new language.
Putting the foreign subtitles on allows us to see how things are written.
More around the world next.
Welcome back. And one way we've been able to go around the world and back in time is with those amazing immersive art shows that have been cropping up everywhere and celebrating the work of legends like Frida Kahlo, Van Gogh, and Monet.
Yes, that's right. And now these art lovers are spreading their wings and doing a show about another international superstar, King Tut.
Well, 2022 marks the 100-year anniversary of his tomb's discovery, so we're checking out the interactive show and uncovering some little-known facts about this fascinating pharaoh.
It's been a century since King Tut's tomb was discovered, and while not the most important pharaoh in history, the 19-year-old boy king is certainly the most impactful due to his hidden resting place.
Tut's tomb was the only tomb which had not been discovered and robbed in the 3,000 years since the pharaohs.
Art history expert Richard Uzunian of Lighthouse Immersive shares some incredible facts about the late pharaoh, and it starts with a tomb fit for a, well, lesser king.
He died when he was 19 years old. There was no tomb ready for Tutankhamun when he died. And Egyptian religion said that you had to be buried within 30 days of your death. So what they did is they found a tomb that was already made for a smaller lord in Egypt. It was like a second-hand tomb.
If you're thinking Tut got a raw deal, don't worry. His coffin's made up for it.
They got to the third coffin. It was like those Russian dolls where there's a doll inside a doll. And when you got to the last one, it was solid gold. Solid gold. Unbelievable.
It's known as the most expensive coffin in the world, with more than 220 pounds of gold, as seen in this PBS documentary. Because King Tut lived in a time of peace, that meant trading epic battles for other kinds of adventure.
There weren't a lot of wars going on. He helped calm all that down with his advisors, but he wanted action. We see lots of pictures of him in fast chariots.
Richard says the 6 chariots found in Tut's tomb are referred to as the Ferraris of antiquity, and that speed came in handy for the boy king.
One of the things you did with the chariots is you raced and hunted ostriches, because they were fast. They were as fast as chariots.
Archaeologists speculate that King Tut may have died while either racing or hunting these combative birds.
Because he has a broken limb in his skeleton in a fight with an ostrich. That may have led to his demise. People just guess.
We'll wrap with King Tut's trumpets. While he ruled in a time of peace, he was buried with military trumpets that are thought to activate a curse when played. And after the 1939 concert, Hitler invaded Poland.
Shortly after the other concert, the Battle of Britain began.
They were played again in 1967 and 1990, with Israel's Six-Day War and Gulf War I to follow. Whether a curse or coincidence, you can see the ancient pharaoh in action. Immersive King Tut is in a city near you, where you'll experience the journey to the afterlife as told in ancient Egyptian lore, bringing a long-dead icon to life with Immersive King Tut.
Guys, as long as we're traveling the globe today, let's add some animals to the mix. Jackie Danker is helping us get a better understanding of our feline friends by looking at some cool cat breeds from around the world.
There are many different breeds of cats.
Cats evolved in different parts of the world with different traits, and people saw those traits and were like, oh, that's interesting.
We spoke with certified feline behavior and training consultant Marcy Koski to learn about some of these cat breeds, starting with the Sphinx cat.
Hairless cats have been documented throughout history.
Originally from Canada, Sphinx breeds aren't exactly hairless.
Sphinx cats actually do have hair. They just have a fine layer of downy hair that kind of feels like suede or chamois kind of material. They're very soft. But you can still see all those wrinkles. Sphinx cats have these really huge ears. They have really large eyes. They're very intelligent. They're pretty active. They love their guardians. They love snuggling with their guardians. They will crawl under blankets with you. And yes, they're being affectionate, but they are also doing this because they want warmth. As you might imagine, they do get cold. They have oils that are secreted through their skin. To avoid that building up and getting on your furniture and stuff, you need to give them baths fairly regularly.
Next up, the Persian cat.
They actually started arriving in Europe as early as the 1500s. Get this, from Roman and Phoenician caravans that had traveled from Persia, which is now Iran, and Turkey.
The traits of this feline include a flat face.
So if you look at the Persian cat from the side, you'll see that the forehead, the nose, and the chin all kind of align. But the eyes are very large, and the cat generally is just very fluffy. Persians are docile and very sweet, but they do love to play. They really need some daily care to make sure that that lustrous fur does not get matted.
Our final cat breed, the Bengal.
The Bengal originated in California. They have that spotted coat that makes them look like little tiny leopards. If you're going to have a Bengal, you need to have a way for them to get plenty of exercise. Make sure that there's plenty of vertical space for that cat because they love to be up high. They love to climb things. Bengals are so intelligent. They require mental stimulation too. So clicker training is really great. Running agility courses, that can be a lot of fun.
We're clawing our way through some unique cat breeds. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our Around the World show. And on today's playlist, it's often been said that music is the international language, though you usually don't think of country music that way. Apparently that's changing. Teresa Strasser's checking out country artists from around the globe.
When you think country music, you think cowboys, guitars, and good old American tunes. But it turns out not all country music artists are actually from America.
There are certain places that I wanted to look and sort of highlight some artists that are familiar to some, but for the rest of us, you're just missing out, and I don't want you to miss out.
Apple Music country host Ty Bentley highlights a few artists from around the globe that you've got to listen to.
Country music is the music of the people, the American people.
Starting with Brett Kissel.
This is Canada's Garth Brooks, basically.
I grew up on a cattle ranch in northeastern Alberta, Canada, so country music came naturally.
It ain't complicated. In fact, it's easy to describe.
This guy's voice is super cool, and the lyric of it is designed so well, and he has everything going for him up in Canada for sure, and it's starting to trickle into all these other parts of the globe. And I think you're really going to enjoy hearing what Canada's already known.
Country music does something so incredible that maybe other genres still can't do. That's tell a story and that's bring people together.
Girl in my hand, the other one drinking that Bud Light. Yeah, that's my kind of money.
Next, let's head across the pond to the UK to meet Yola.
She's going to be the biggest thing. You might as well be the person that told your friends about Yola. Through and through 100% country music. But the way that it's delivered, the cadence and sort of the layering of her voice and the layering of instruments has more of a jazzy feel to it. That for me is one of the coolest things about Yola.
And Ty's list of amazing international country music artists wraps up in Australia with Brad Cox.
I love this guy, Brad Cox. He knows he's kind of a quirky guy. He's got an interesting take on music, but he's very much country music, which makes it a little bit more fun.
Tell me where you come from, what's your favorite country song? This might change your mind.
This is exactly what country music is built on. You lost your girl, you lost your truck, you lost your dog. And he has a new way of doing it. It's such a creative masterpiece. So get in on it, listen to it.
An international take on country music on the playlist. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. All right, something that'll help you on a trip around the world, knowing different languages. So to get you on your way, might I suggest a binge session of Squid Game? Yeah, that's right. We are looking at how watching TV and movies can help us learn a new language.
Turns out learning a new language can be as easy as watching your favorite movie or TV show.
We originally conducted a study. We found that 77% of respondents surveyed agreed watching foreign language films and TV benefited their language learning process.
Daniele Siccardi, campaigns manager for the language learning platform Preply, gives us a breakdown on how you can best use TV shows and films to master a new tongue. First up, make sure you choose the right movie or series, something that you will enjoy watching.
That way you enjoy the show and you ensure that the plot doesn't interrupt your language learning later on.
Make sure it offers subtitles both in your native language and the language you're hoping to learn or improve on.
Most people watch films on Netflix or Amazon Prime, but I'm sure most DVDs, if people still use them, will have the subtitle feature.
Watch the entire show with your native subtitles on so you understand the story. And from there, pick a few standout scenes to study.
Find a bit that you like.
Start by turning on the foreign subtitles.
Now that we understand what's happening, in our native language, we can start to transform that into the language that we're learning. Putting the foreign subtitles on allows us to see how things are written and what the word looks like, essentially.
And an important study tip, hover over the pause button.
If something happens, you want to be able to stop. It's as simple as that.
Pausing allows you to look up words and phrases you don't understand yet. Repeat them out loud each time you hear them to help you memorize them and learn the pronunciation. Finally, turn the foreign subtitles off and see how much you've remembered.
It's really nice to almost test yourself and just show yourself how far you've come.
But don't expect to be perfect the first time around.
Learning a language, it's such a journey.
While there is no exact number of times this entire process should be repeated to fully learn a new language,
if this is something that you find is helping, keep doing it as much as you can, would really be my advice.
And as you move forward, don't be afraid to take what you've learned into the real world.
Speaking with native speakers is probably the biggest jump in language, overcome the nerves and the anxiety, and that is probably the best thing to do.
We're using hit TV shows and flicks to master a new language. Oh man, I love the idea of using entertainment to learn a new language. Genius.
Okay, but not entirely surprising. I mean, if people can learn Klingon from watching Star Trek, Spanish should be a piece of cake.
Or a piece of mong, which is cake in Klingon.
How do you know that?
You weren't expecting that from me, were you?
I was not expecting that. Hey, thanks for taking a trip around the world with us today. We'll see you next time.
Monday on the list, learn the secrets to a long and healthy life.
They were gardening, walking to the store, walking to work, going and visiting neighbors.
And tailor your wardrobe to fit your lifestyle.
We only wear like 44% of what's in our closet.
Plus, fall decorations to make at home.
You can create a really beautiful arrangement.
That's Monday, here on the list.